Hi, greetings everyone. In this video, we are going to see how to work with the work breakdown structure, that is the WBS codes. A work breakdown structure, also called as WBS, is the project management term for a hierarchy of tasks. By breaking the tasks down in this way, project work is easy to assign, track and manage. To uniquely identify each task in your project, you will need the WBS codes. Well, if you look at this view, you will see the task ID columns. Well, these numbers, the task IDs, are not a WBS because if you move the tasks around, those task IDs change and you really want the WBS codes. For the most part, you want them to stay the same. So the easiest thing to do is to insert a WBS field into a table. So right click the task name heading and choose the insert column and then type the WBS. And now the codes are in this table. Well, this shows you that the project actually has a WBS numbering scheme behind the scenes and it's just numbers at every level. So planning move is to the top level. So here general condition is at the top level. The next level is your site work, which is numbered as 2. Because it's the another top level task. On the other hand, the secure framing is actually 3 levels down, so it has the code 1.3.2. Well, if this numbering scheme works for you, that's great because you are done. You don't have to do anything else with the WBS codes. But you can also customize the WBS codes to fit what your organization uses. To do that, on the Project tab, click WBS and then choose Define Code. Well, this dialog box lets you define the numbering schemes for your WBS codes. The first box that you can fill in is the project code prefix. Basically, that comes in handy if you are going to have multiple projects in one master project and you need a prefix to uniquely identify each project in this big master project. Even if all the WBS codes in each project are the same. So just to see how this works, I will type in the prefix and we will make it, say for example, Yoda for the office move and then put the hyphen as a separator. Well, now the next section is the code mask, and that's where you really get into the defining scheme. So the first thing you do is clicking the first sequence cell and click the down arrow and you have a couple of options. The first one is the ordered numbers, and that just means numbers that come in sequence. You can also do the ordered uppercase letters, which means uppercase A to Z, or lowercase ordered numbers to that lowercase A to Z. Then the last one is the characters unordered. That means you can mix the numbers and the letters, but the project is not going to put them into the sequence. So you are going to have to type those values. Those are really good for abbreviating phases. For example, PLN for planning. So at the top we are going to choose the characters unordered. Now the next thing is the length. Project fills in any, and that means that the level can be any length long. But WBS codes should be on the short side, so we will choose this length as 3. Now that means it can actually go from 1 to 3 characters. The separator is the period. That's actually a pretty nice separator to use, but you can also use a hyphen or a plus symbol or a slash if you want, but we will stick with the period here. Now in the second sequence, we will choose the ordered number and we will change the length to 3 again. In this case, with this length of 3, project will actually increment the numbers, but it's going to go from 1 to maximum length you can get in 3, so it's to 1 to 999. And then it actually recycles again, but 999 should be the plenty. The third level we are going to choose is the uppercase letters, and we will change the length to 3 again. And the last level we will make as lower case letters, and we will make this to 2. Now there are 2 check boxes that you want to look at here. They are both turned on, and that's really what you want. The first one generates the WBS codes for a new mask. That means if you add a task to your project, the project will automatically assign a WBS code to it. And since you want every task to have one of these codes, you really want that checkbox on. The second one is verify uniqueness of the new WBS code. Well, you want the codes to be unique, so what this will do is if you create a new task with a new code, it will check and make sure it's not a duplicate. If it is a duplicate, it will warn you so you can fix it. The other thing is, notice up at the top there is a code preview, so you can actually see what your code is going to look like. And if you want, then just make the changes that you need. So now we are ready to click OK. When I do that, you can see that the new code mask shows up in the column WBS. Well, because we use those unordered characters, we just have to do one other thing, and that's to type some values in for those top level. So since general condition is the top level mask, so click the WBS cells and I will type here 1, or you can also say as PL1. So here if you see, it's giving me PL1. The next one is the site work. So here I will name it as PL2, since that's the another top level task. So in this one, it's the site work. Now let's say you end up assigning the WBS codes, but then you do a lot of work on your schedule and you move a lot of tasks around and things get out of the order. Well, if you haven't used the codes for anything, for example, like naming the documents that go with the tasks, you can renumber the WBS codes in the project. To do that, on the project tab, click on WBS down arrow, and in this case choose the renumber. The entire project option is selected, and so we can leave it that way. If I had selected tasks, then the other option would be selected and you could just renumber just those selected tasks. But in this case, we will renumber the entire project. So I'll say OK, proceed yes. So it asks you to confirm, so click on yes, and then it will go through and renumber everything in a sequence. WBS codes uniquely identify each task in your project. Project comes with a basic numbering scheme in planning, but you can set up your own to match what your organization uses. Thank you.